Right, we'll just do a quick check to see if we're live. Send the messages out. Send the messages out. Okay, cool. Right. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the demo levels, the old ones, and I'm going to be going through them and making sure they're still balanced. Now, what's happened is the way movement is controlled has changed dramatically, and so actually I should probably just recompile before I go any further. Make sure we already are compiled. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to be playing the levels and seeing if they're too hard, if they're too easy, removing some stuff if they're too hard, adding some stuff in if they're too easy. Yeah, and the way the movement has changed actually dramatically affects the balance of the levels, because now creatures won't move through each other when they're in combat, and as such, only the front line of creatures can attack. This is how it used to be, actually. And the moving through each other was never actually put in to prevent that as such. There's a couple of other things that have changed as well, like food chambers now cost to build, so you've got to actually think more carefully about food placement, food chamber placement. And they're not too expensive. Also, whilst we're doing this and rebalancing, I just want to let you know this game's insane. Can't wait for an update. Thanks very much. We're working hard trying to make improvements to the game all the time. So yeah, it's nice to be appreciated. Thanks. I'm gonna need a few more workers. I mean, you'll all recognize this level, I suspect. Let me just check the. Swap those around. It's one of the things people don't always notice in this is that you actually do need some ants free floating to do egg carrying jobs, else eggs just won't get replaced. Obviously this level doesn't really kick in until still doesn't really kick in until we tunnel through here. Oh, do you see that? Is that only at certain zooms? Yeah. Okay, that's something to note. Graphical bug. On small. G. So, when it was possible to explore the surface, can't we? We haven't got a date for that yet. I mean, we're taking a build with a level with the surface in to EGX Res later this month. So anyone at that game show will be able to give it a go, and we'll be collecting feedback at that game show about what people think about our surface design. And then trying to improve it from there. It shouldn't be too long. I need to bring the black ants up here. Enemies. I probably only want the black ants attacking, actually thinking about it. Okay, we're good. Maybe I actually attacked them too soon. Oh, we got one of them down. Let's wait till the 9's back up. To be honest, I probably should have brought the workers into it as well. Okay, is there any possibility to support you guys, like Kickstarter or anything? We actually had a successful Kickstarter a while ago. We did have support through PayPal for a while, but we've taken that down whilst we investigate other options. I think what we're going to do is eventually we're going to have you'll be able to support us through EotU. You'll be able to purchase a very early build of the game. Well, basically the backers demo through EotU, and that will be how people can support us. But yeah, I appreciate you wanting to help. That's really good of you. Okay, I've got a bit of cash now. I'm trying to keep my eye out for graphical bugs as well, because there's a couple of situations that I've spotted that are tiled. Okay, I shouldn't build anymore. Okay. Get my black ants down here. Okay, I've heard from Liam that this level is apparently really hard. I've got the wrong group here, haven't I? Yeah. My workers should actually still be up here collecting the rest of that food. Yeah, we're looking into getting a couple more groups as well. I think probably 5 in total. difficult to get in. Difficult for the ants to get around. They got a good surround going there. I might want to give them slightly further attack. So let's do that. Black ants. Longer attack range. Once the actual battle's started, I want to be ready for it. We got to gather the food quickly as well. Could also do with some space to expand my forces too. Okay, I think it's time. We'll build 2 more. Here we go. Yeah, the team colours have been put on a bit more prominently now. So it's a bit more obvious who's who. Right, we're obviously winning that one. But I need to quickly grab this food now. So part of the key to this level is to be ready to grab the food because the timer starts going. Basically, the skill comes in have you grabbed enough food by the time the. Okay, here we should see one of the other things that's changed, which is ants holding food. Oh no, none of them have food. Basically now, if an ant picks up food, if a black ant picks up food specifically, and it sees an enemy, it'll drop the food and attack. Okay, there's 2 timers started now, so that's one's the rear attack, I think. Oh, full. Grab the food, grab it. Quickly throw those into the group as well. Okay. Damn it, wrong marker. Full on food again. Need to set an alert out when your food's full. Alert, full, food. Go gather. See, now we should see it. As soon as that next wall breaks through, we should see... Oh, food's full again. Yeah, we should see if these spot. Yes, see, some of them have dropped their food. Although most of them didn't actually spot them, so. I think I need a bigger group of workers at the nest. Swap those around. There we got 'em. As your colony grows in size, the idea is you need to keep more and more of them in the nest. At the nest. Because the egg replacing jobs get more. Well, there's more egg replacing to do. I think we're going along fine at the moment. I actually want another group of workers. That are separate. Right, let's get my soldiers back. Don't think I actually need all of them. I only need so many soldiers to deal with the Okay, workers carrying eggs should not go into combat. That's quite a lot of enemies. Probably shouldn't stop the flow. See, at the moment I'll be losing lots of black ants. Workers. This queen's actually key to this level. About to get a hit from behind. Yeah. Right. Clearly this level needs a bit of work. There's nothing wrong with the rear attack as such. It's really hard, particularly for level 2. Okay, so I didn't get as far as the end bit, which is meant to be. Okay, so there's a few things I could do to make this easier. So, it was at the point where the Devil's Coach Horse adults spawned. Basically, I hadn't managed to kill the groups incoming at the point where the Devil's Coach adults spawned. Now, I can give the player more time. Maybe give them a whole load of time before the Devil's Coach adults spawn. I can reduce the front attack size. Those errors. That's one error. Access none, trying to re-property get primary job. Am I close enough to job requisitioner? Okay, so essentially there's a situation here where it access none trying to get what? Get requisitioner. Okay, I'll add a couple of checks in then. So if primary job's not equal to nothing, and requisitioner is not equal to nothing. Okay, so basically all I'm doing there is adding a check in to make sure it actually equals something. There is a requisitioner. Basically, there's some point in the code where maybe a job's finished, but some answer. It's obviously a very rare occurrence because it occurred once in that whole level. But that should deal with it. I managed to do this level with 10 workers, 20 black ants swarming around the queen, and 40 black ants in attack. Still quite hard at the end. Yeah, the reason I'm rebalancing is because the movement code has changed dramatically. So your previous strategy probably wouldn't work. So yeah, I've got to test it, edit it, test it, edit it, basically until I can do it. As soon as I can do it, I'm not exactly the world's best war strategy player. If I can do it without too much difficulty, it's probably right. So, anyway, I'll look at the bit of the code where, well, the bit of the blueprint code where okay, so all this here is the level. This is the level sequence as such. So it's got this integer which is keeping track of where it is in the level. And what these are digging tiles out. So that's the enemy tunneling into you. So what I need to do is I need to look at these. I mean, these are the Devil's Coach Horse adults, right? I'm assuming they are. Yeah, Devil's Coach Horse adults. Okay, so it's likely to be these tiles that are the ones that we get. So looking for 6997. And the point in the code where 6997 gets tunneled out. That's the end of the level. Is that the right tile? Yeah, unique ID 6997 or 5999. I should put comments around this, really. Can't find it. It'll be here somewhere. So there's trigger timer. There'll be a second timer as well. Rear attack timer. Let's find references to that. Ah, interesting. Rear attack's handled in a separate function. So I'm looking for the point where this rear attack progress really. Is handled, but not within this. Maybe it is within this. Rear attack flag. There we are. So that's the first rear attack there. Rear attack 3. The way the rear attacks work, if rear attack 1 has been flagged, so this is rear attack 3 I think we're looking at. Rear attack 3. That's what starts the tunneling. And this is what actually does it, 6997, yeah. Okay. I'm reacquainting myself with this level. So which is the thing that triggers it? Where is it? There it is. Okay, so this is triggering it. Starting the timer. This is is the attack that you get hit with just before it. So we're looking for these tiles really, and I want to reduce the amount of ants that are in those areas. So 35979, 35979. I think it's around here. Three five nine eight six. Or is it here? It might be this one actually. 35979, yeah. Okay, so it's this that opens up. Three six nine eight four. 36984 and this. So you get hit from this group of ants, this group of ants, and this group of ants at the same time. And that's just at the front. And then 80 seconds later you get hit with the two Devil's Coach Horse adults. So you've essentially got 80 seconds to clean up those 3 packs of ants and get back. I actually think that's too much. Right, I'm just going to grab a coffee. Then I'm going to take a few of them out and try again. Back in a second. Alright. Okay. So, level 2. I need to remove a few of those ants from the attack. Anything else I need to do? I could give the player some more time as well. I think that's worth it. I'll do that. I'm also going to slow down the final set of attacks because I think they come at you too quickly at the moment. As in the constant flow of ants at the end. So let's do that. So this pack here looks pretty big, to be honest. Okay, so that's dramatically reduced the size of that attack. Probably about 7 ants. Going to reduce these other attacks as well. I've got to be careful as I'm doing this that I don't go crazy, because I might well swing it the other way. Balance is a very delicate game. Get rid of one more of these. Okay, so that particular attack's now been massively reduced, probably by about 12 ants. I'm going to reduce a couple of the final attacks as well. I don't want to reduce them to nothing, but actually the way these spawn creatures needs to be. I'll do that now. I've recently updated the way that creatures are spawned. You see that's running spawn AI from class. Instead, I want spawn actor. Okay, give me a sec. What's interesting is I seem to have more viewers when I go to the when I'm away for a moment. As soon as I come back, they all disappear. It doesn't actually need this behavior tree anymore. Right, I no longer need to set the colony ID because that's... Ah, of course. We've got an issue here is that in that as soon as I give it a specific class here, I lose access to being able to set its colony ID. Because the way this works. Either way, I can get rid of this now. So the way to actually do this is to just put switch with this. No. Need to think about this for a moment. It's an issue with the way Unreal handles these expose on spawn variables. So basically you need to be able to set the colony ID before something spawns. However, as soon it has to know what class it's looking at in order to do it. And if I use a variable for the class could be anything. Alternatively, I could always say that beasts are always in group -1. Which they usually are. But it'd be nice to be able to... I'll be limiting myself further down the line. So what I really want is, and I might just do it, is something I can run a switch on. So I probably want an enum on beast type. Or beast name, I guess. Do it on creature name. Issue being, as soon as I change this, I'm in trouble, because then I've got to change it on every level. I'd have to make sure all these UG tile things everywhere were set right. All these spawn creatures. I guess for now, what I actually do is I just leave them as their default. That really does limit us, though, in the future. Funny the issues you run into. I need to make a decision on this. it's spawning a generic pawn. I mean, what is that? So that's a pawn class. Maybe I can change it to swarm creature. I don't know. I don't actually know what this will do. Swarm creature class. I mean, technically it should be able to... Yeah, that's okay. Okay, we sorted. We sorted. Right, basically, it was because that was just a pawn class, but now I've set it specifically to a swarm creature class, which all of these are. They always spawn something called a swarm creature. It's given me the box now. So we're good. We are good. It needs to go into there. Let's make sure all these connections are correct. Right, my guess is it's now going to complain at me for casting. If I do that, it'll complain at me for casting to a swarm creature. I think it will at least. Oh, it's not happy. Is it going to crash? Oh, I think I'm going to have to redo that. Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, there we are. It's having a go at me. I knew it would. It's 'cause it's going, look, mate, that's already a swarm creature. Why are you casting it? You idiot. So basically, I need to make sure these are plugged into... There we are. And now, we can skip that step. How are we doing? Right. Okay, we're good. We are good. Oh, I'm glad we sorted that one out. As creatures spawn, they actually phase out, so they don't collide with things the moment they spawn, and they'll only start colliding when things walk off from their position. Right, so now I've made huge changes to the way that works. I should probably save it. Let's just check that this hasn't been reset or anything stupid like that. Please don't have been reset. Swarm Black Ant, yeah, that's fine. Swarm Black Ant. Coach Horse Adult, still fine. That's the Swarm Black Ant Queen. Right, behavior tree is no longer used. It just spawns the default one. So I can actually remove that from this. I said it's absolutely not used. Okay. So that's that updated. It doesn't like compiling this node. I wonder what about it is cool. Okay, so I think we are good. See that? Some sort of loop going on here. This is to do with the surf. Right, when these were originally made, these exclamation marks actually had the ability to move. However, when I came to actually try and use it, the moving ability of them seemed to be a bit weird. So in the end, I haven't actually used it. And the only reason I haven't used it is because it didn't actually seem to work properly. It's a nice function, and I think it'd be worth considering. I mean, imagine if the whole map, these red exclamation marks were moving around within their own area. It'd be quite cool. But it didn't work. I might investigate that, because it would make the underground more interesting and dynamic. A little bit scary as well. Okay, so I've reduced the amount of those. The other thing I wanted to do was actually increase the time. So I want to add probably about 20 seconds to the rear attack timer here. So when it actually gets flagged, so give them 100 seconds at that point, but also that needs to increase in the actual level. So there's rear attack timer 3, trigger timer 160, 180. That's actually 3 minutes the player's got at that point. But that's only 180. I'm going to give them even more. That seems ridiculous, but we'll see. We will see. It'd be nice if I could balance this level. I'm going to send this out to friends and family test before I send it else, before I make it available to people. So hopefully that'll pick up a lot of the issues. Right, the continuous enemy spawn. Now this is the... So the spawn timer is less than 0. So it's this thing called spawn timer. It looks like it's between 1.5 and 4 seconds. I'm going to increase that. 0.5. Let's go with between 4 and 8 seconds. Now these are quite large increase. That's probably too large, to be honest. 3 and 6 seconds. Well, since no one else is talking, I want to say I'm enjoying the stream. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's only I tend to only have a small group of people that actually watch me live on Twitch. But then more people watch it when it goes to YouTube. So even if it's only a small pool here, it's still worth it. But no, I'm very glad some people are sitting by, and it's nice to actually have someone talking. Trying to space these out a tiny bit. Right, I'm almost ready to test again. Removing some of these, but I don't want to remove many of them. This is the last pack, really? And this one spawns as soon as the player actually damages the final queen. Okay. So I've saved. I'm ready to run again. Ah, just crashed. This will probably be something to do with the tile surfer changes that I've made. But I need to wait for the crash information to come through. To get tile grid by ID again. I was having a crash yesterday that involved this. And it's a little bit annoying because the crash report doesn't really explain to me what the issue is. Unless it does this time. I'll go through it. Okay, so what we've got is get tile grid by player ID. Get tile grid by... I suspect it comes from the tile surfer. There was another change I made though. No, that shouldn't affect it. But yeah, I'm guessing this will be called from the blueprints, in which case this crash report doesn't really help me much. I know what's happened is the creature that is called this will be asking for a tile grid of -1. However, the question is which creature's calling it. Something that's I mean, I would put in like a failsafe for that, and for example, say if it's -1, then just don't return the tile grid. However, if I did that, there'll then be situations in the code where I'm calling the tile grid incorrectly, which I shouldn't do. I'm just going to press make sure it compiles. I don't think there's any C++ code changes, but I will just make sure it is compiling. I'm guessing it's just going to crash straight away again. Yeah. This is actually a change I made. But that doesn't call that doesn't call the tile grid at all. So the tile grid will be probably being called from the AI somewhere. I'm going to remove the player's workers, because I'm assuming these are what's causing the issue. Because they're the only things with AI at the beginning of the level. If not, though, it might not be the... yeah, maybe it's not the AI that's calling it. Right, let's check that it's not being called from... In fact, it might be something to do with the tile surfers, because they're the things that have changed the most. Let's just check that there's nowhere in tile surfers that are calling it. In fact, that's probably where it is. Considering this is where I've made the change. Right, so it is calling tile grid. However, it's not calling what I was expecting it to call, which is the function that it crashes in. Okay, so it's getting the tile that it's sitting on. Get 0. Getting overlapping actors. Get the owner. Casting that to a tile grid. And then operating on it. Yeah, it doesn't actually seem to be... It doesn't actually seem to be calling the function that's crashing it. I'm just going to spend some time going through this crash report. Get tile grid by player ID. Get tile grid by player ID. Call function. This text is so small. Oh. EotU Tug of War heads up display. Begin play. Add to screen. Interesting. Just gonna absolutely make sure it's not Tile Surfer. I don't think it is. There's no evidence that it is, other than the fact this is what I was changing when it started to happen. No, it's not. It's not the Tile Surfer. It's definitely not the Tile Surfer. Right, I'm gonna have a look at this UI widget. So yeah, EotU Tug of War HUD line 81. This will be the UI section. Create widget. Begin play, line 81. So it's funny when things go wrong, eh? Just make sure no one's updated anything. Right, I'm going to actually... Oh. This is actually checked out by someone else. Right. One sec, I need to talk to my team. It's a bit strange when it starts happening out of the blue like this. To be honest, what it might have been though is that I hadn't actually compiled the code. From something that Matt's done yesterday. But there seems to be all sorts of stuff that it's doing. It's essentially constructing this widget. And at some point in the construction of this widget, it's calling get tile grid by player ID. I mean, I might be able to find this. Ah, the joys of bug hunting. I think we're going to be on this for a little while now until we figure it out. That's the reality of development. You can be all happy and dandy one moment, and then some horrific crash causes. I mean, I should try a couple of other things as well. So for example, level 1, press play. Yeah, it crashes. I'm guessing it's coming from the blueprints rather than the code. But I dread to think how frequently the tile grid's accessed like that. I think before we launch the game, we'll definitely put in a failsafe for it. However, whilst we're still building it, it's important that it does crash when something goes wrong. Right, I'm going to do a search of the whole project for it. So this is relocate swarm near target location. That's not even plugged in. This is old code. Okay. I'll come back to this method afterwards if this fails. But I'm going to right. I'm going to push what I've done. Right. Right. I'm currently we're syncing files between one another, so so me and Matt are working from are reading from the same page essentially. This is the real nitty-gritty of game dev. Okay, so I think I've got the latest build now. Cool. You know why it's failing to delete them? It's because I've got these crash reports open. Right. Whilst this is building, I'm just going to go get a coffee. Right, how are we doing? It failed. To be honest, I think it just needs to rebuild. There, I succeeded. Okay. Well, according to Matt, he's not getting the issue at all. So, fingers crossed, I won't be getting it anymore. Okay. Okay. Damn it. Okay, time to do a proper clean build. So far I've done nothing. So if this suddenly works now, it's just the program being quirky. He's right. Okay. Right, I think I know what's causing it. Unfortunately, in order for me to fix it, I'm going to have to delete loads of project files and rebuild them. So yeah, I'm not going to do this on stream. I might as soon as I get this sorted, I'll bring the stream back up. But for now, I'm going to take it down whilst we fix this daft issue. So thanks for watching this short stream, and hopefully I'll be back later once we've got this problem solved. Right, until later.